In terms of more compact, luxury EVs with decent range, the Tesla Model 3 and Polestar 2 are pretty evenly matched. Both offer 5 seats, all-electric driving, and quick acceleration, and both are fighting for a similar clientele. The Polestar 2 is the first all-electric car from the new Volvo and Geely-backed brand officially unveiled in 2019, while the Model 3 is Tesla's first stab at a lower-cost EV for the masses. We have spent time in both the Polestar 2 and the Model 3 long range. Both have their strengths, but most importantly, both are solid EV choices for anyone looking to transition away from internal combustion engines. They don't rely on fossil fuels, but everything else about them basically feels like you're driving a normal car. So let's check out on how they compare. Interior. Staying true to the Model S's maxi minimalist interior design, the Model 3 is just as stark. The dash is nothing but a slab of wood, a full-width air vent and a 15.4-inch touchscreen, landscape-orientated. From where you sit, on a slightly narrow but otherwise comfortable chair, the screen appears to hover in mid-air. Although the basic driving controls couldn't be simpler, this isn't a car you fully understand in the first 5 minutes. Like a new smartphone, you need to commit some time to learning the shortcuts, locating the settings you might need, and ingraining them in your brain. That said, the touchscreen operation itself is fabulous. Space in the back seats is fine for anyone up to 6 foot tall, a bit cramped beyond that, but it's worth it for the endless view out through the full-length sunroof that wraps right around and behind your head. It seats 5 passengers and has a decent-sized trunk, as well as a front trunk. Tesla quotes the luggage capacity to be 15 cubic feet. Overall, the build quality and materials are a step behind the established premium European players, but by keeping things super simple, it's never really an issue. The Polestar 2's interior looks like a car interior, which we are more familiar with and prefer using. There's also a big touchscreen, yes, but there's also an information cluster you can easily see while driving. The 2 also has Google's Android operating system built in, which meant that the interface and user experience will all be familiar to us. It's an intuitive system and doesn't force us to learn a new UI. Although you sit a little higher than in, say, an Audi A4, that effect is masked by the high door tops and cocooning nature of the cabin. It's also not an austere or overly sporty cockpit. Light woods and fabrics are employed instead of business-suited carbon fiber. You can spec leather, but as standard the interior is vegan and more welcoming for it. The Volvo spec seats are supremely cosseting. It's not a Frankfurt office, this. Or a Silicon Valley coffee shop. It's a lodge retreat in a pine forest. In the back there's enough room for adults to sit behind adults, though it doesn't feel as roomy as a conventional saloon because of the smaller glass area. Polestar quotes the luggage capacity to be 15.5 cubic feet. Overall, the interior experience is good, and it gives a feel of a traditional car, which we all have been using from a long time. Tesla's interior feels futuristic and modern, while Polestar feels traditional and modern. Exterior. According to Tesla's own measurements, the Model 3 is 184.8 inches long, 82.2 inches wide with mirrors, and 56.8 inches tall. Its design is far softer and more oblong than the 2's, with rounded headlights. The front end is short thanks to the extended cabin area, and the car is unlocked with a credit card waved against a B-pillar. Or you can set up your smartphone to work just like Tesla's card key by unlocking the car as you approach. Overall, the Model 3 gives us a perfect modern sedan feeling. The Polestar 2, according to Polestar's measurements, is 181.3 inches long, 78.1 inches wide with mirrors, and 58.2 inches tall. The Polestar 2 is a lot of things, specifically a 4-door hatchback with the proportions of a sedan and the ride height of a crossover. The 2's odd design isn't very pretty, maybe it's because there are so many Model 3s driving around now that everyone knows what they look like. But we love the Thor's Hammer daytime running lights. Overall, Tesla's design looks more striking and modern, while Polestar has its own unique design. Drive quality and performance. Evaluating electric cars on how they drive is sort of a pointless exercise, as they all drive basically the same: seamless acceleration, silent save for the futuristic whirring, quick. The big differences come down to the packaging, fit and finish, and the user experience. In long-range, dual-motor, all-wheel drive setup, the Model 3 produces a claimed 346 horsepower and can achieve an estimated 145 miles per hour top speed and hit 60 miles per hour in just 4.4 seconds. If you opt for the Model 3 Performance, however, the claimed power output jumps to 450 horsepower and 471 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 miles per hour is achieved in an estimated 3.2 seconds, and there's a 162 miles per hour top speed. The long-range Model 3 is quick, but the performance Model 3 feels like a rocket. The acceleration is so instant that it feels like being shot forward with the world's biggest cannon. It never got old. It was never not entertaining. We found the Model 3's steering to be weighted very favorably, not too light and not too heavy. It felt quite natural. Forward visibility out of the Model 3 was also phenomenal. The low, short hood gave a near unencumbered view through the windshield. The Model 3 also offers autopilot capabilities, Tesla's advanced driver assistance system. Autopilot and General Motors Super Cruise are among the best driver assistance systems currently on the market. The Polestar 2 produces a claimed 408 horsepower and 487 pound-feet of torque. It also has an all-wheel drive setup. 0 to 60 miles per hour takes an estimated 4.5 seconds. Polestar did not provide a top speed estimate. We didn't love the 2's steering feedback. In its standard setting, it was far too light. In sport mode, there was a bit more weight to it, but we never felt like it adequately communicated the road very well. Everything else was great, though. The car's low center of gravity and instant acceleration made it feel much smaller and artier than it actually was. One-pedal driving is also very easy to master. The 2 is also quick, and for the purposes of the general public, doesn't need to be any quicker. But if you want the neck-snapping acceleration, nothing really beats the Model 3 Performance. The 2 offers Pilot Assist, Volvo's version of driver assistance technology, but we didn't get a chance to try it. Range. The most important factor for any EV is its range. In the long-range configuration, the Model 3 returns an estimated 322 miles, which surpasses that mystical 300-mile mark that people seem to be stuck on. The standard range plus Model 3, which comes with rear-wheel drive, is an estimated 250 miles. The Performance has an estimated range of 299 miles. Also, Tesla has an expansive supercharger network, which means that there are more places for owners to charge their Teslas when away from home. The Polestar 2 has been available for a much shorter amount of time than the Model 3, so there's really only one version available to buyers right now, that's the Launch Edition. The last year's Launch Edition had an EPA-rated range of 233 miles. The 2 has not yet been tested by the EPA, but rumors suggests that the range could be 275 miles. Also, Volvo has a really small charging network currently. So in the matter of range and supercharger networks, Tesla is unbeatable. Price. The Model 3 Standard Range Plus starts at $33,190, the Long Range starts at $42,190, and the Performance starts at $51,190. Tesla also famously operates with a direct sales model, which has run into well-documented disagreements with local dealership franchise laws. For you, the consumer, this can mean that there might not always be a Tesla store near your home, but it could also mean fewer variations in store-to-store buying experiences. The Launch Edition 2 starts at $59,900. A base model will be available later on, but this is what we have for now. As a fledgling brand, Polestar doesn't have as many stores as Tesla does. The company hopes to have more than 20 locations in its network within the next couple of years, but for now, the main markets are San Francisco, Los Angeles, and the tri-state area, according to a company spokesperson. So in the matter of price, the Model 3 is the king. The verdict. Comparing both the cars, we found that both will find their own buyers. Some might find the Polestar design more appealing as it looks more traditional and easy to use. While the Model 3 is futuristic and modern, which is catching a lot of attention towards it, and currently it's the best-selling electric car. Model 3 is a perfect pick in every aspect, whether it's the price or range or the self-driving capabilities. Polestar 2 still has to prove a lot and also needs to do justice to its price, which is a lot higher than a Model 3. So our best value for price pick is the Tesla Model 3. That's it for now. So what are your thoughts about this? Let us know in the comments. Stay tuned at the Electric Arena for all the latest Tesla and electric vehicle news.